3 episodes is crazy. We went from, I don't even know how long it was when I was supposed to start the podcast, to 3 episodes in a row without any break. Oh, Jesus. God is good. Okay, welcome back to another episode of the Mind Your Business podcast. We are here on episode 3. Okay? Yes, episode 3. You heard that right. We're really doing the thing now, okay? We are really deep into this obedience thing because obedience all 2025 for me and my household. No? Okay. So today is a treat, okay? I'm giving you a little bit of a snack early in the morning because I have with me my husband, okay? The father of my children.
I'm a snack?
Yes.
What kind of snack?
Okay, all right, chill out. I actually didn't mean that like that, but I mean, I see where you're going. Anyways, that's besides the point. But listen, okay, I had to have you on the podcast because, well, first of all, let's go back. What is your name? Introduce yourself to the people. They don't know you.
I'm Evan.
Hi, Evan. Nice to meet you. All right, we'll get a little bit more into who Evan is, what he does, all the things in a second. But I really just wanted you on the podcast today. First of all, first guest?
Yeah, that's
Are you
crazy.
honored?
Yeah.
Okay. You thought I was going to ask someone else? That's crazy.
I mean, I wouldn't have mind.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
no, I would never. I would never. Anyways, I just want to have kingdom conversations with you, babe. Like, that's what we do. That's how we started off our relationship. So that's how we're going to continue it. So today I have a very interesting topic that I want to talk to you specifically about, because if y'all don't already know, my man just launched a clothing line. It's called Flee Temptation. You can go and buy some merch right now, fleetemptation.com. But yeah, we're going to get into all the things. I have some questions I want to ask you, and just that we'll talk about today and all the things. But if you don't already know, again, so I told you he just dropped a line, but he also he's just a serial business owner at this point, because he also has a web design business for churches, 210creatives.com. Go to it now. Run, don't walk. Okay, so today, Evan, we are going to be talking about essentially like stepping out on faith. We're going to be talking about all the things, like what led up to all of these businesses being launched, and the behind the scenes, what it looks like, what it feels like, all of that good stuff. So y'all know I've already talked about my struggles with faith. Okay, if you haven't heard about it, go back to episode 1. But a lot of things that I was going through, and a lot of my struggles with faith, were the fact that I didn't believe because I couldn't see, whatever God was trying to do or trying to show me. And so I wanted to ask you, Evan, and you can, go into a little bit deeper of either the hows or the whys of, starting these businesses or whatever else. But so tell us a little bit more about like your entrepreneurship journey as, a believer, as a kingdom disciple. Okay.
I mean, my web design business, 210 Creatives, I launched that back in 2019, back when I was still working. I used to work at Department of Motor Vehicles, also known as DMV. But you don't know where you're listening to this at. So some people,
very true,
DMV is not always called DMV in different states. It's weird. But pretty much I started the business back in 2019. I always had a desire, a passion to start some type of business. I remember being a kid, and I would always tell my dad, I don't want to do what you do. Like, he used to work a lot. And he always took it the wrong way, though. He always made it seem like I was saying I didn't want to work. My thing was I wanted to free up more time, not really work, constantly working out of the house, which, I'm grateful for him doing all that work because, it allowed us to have the lifestyle that I was able to have growing
Right.
up. But yeah, I was just always thinking about I want more freedom than a 9 to 5. So that was always the goal. And then around 2019, that's when, well before that, I wanted to start my own business, but 2019 was the year that I finally did it. And from there, it was just a part-time thing, a side thing. And then I remember us being in Atlanta we normally take a anniversary trip every year. And we were in Atlanta, and just this thought came to me. I was like, what if I just up and quit? And because the goal had always been to do my business full time, but I was just gonna grow it at the same time as I'm still working.
Right.
And then when I finally making the kind of money that I was making, or close to the kind of money that I was making, then I was gonna take that leap of faith. But that's not really too much of a leap because, you already matched to what your money was. But yeah, so I wasn't really making as much as I was making at my job, but that thought just came to me, what if I just up and quit? And I brought that to your attention, and you were like, ooh, wee. It's like,
almost took me out.
And then, but you had great points. You didn't mind it, but your number one thing was, what's the plan?
Yeah.
And I didn't have a plan. I was like,
don't bring a crazy idea to me without steps A through Z. Okay.
Yeah, I was honest. I was like, I don't have a plan. And it probably maybe was like a month later when I had a plan and I presented it to you. But from there, November 2023, well, right before that, a month before that, I put in a 1 month notice. I was just gonna up and quit. And right after that, November 2023, I took that leap of faith. This is almost 2 years later, and
look at us now.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey.
Yeah, for sure.
And like you just said, earlier this month, I launched Flee Temptation.
Yeah, how you feeling?
Okay,
streetwear designer.
I feel good. It's random, kinda.
It's not though. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, people are probably going to feel like this is random. Honestly, I kind of felt like it was a little random, even though like I was along for the whole process. And I kind of saw what you were doing and why you were doing it. But then I thought about it the other day. Do you remember when you told me when you were younger, you used to like just design sneakers and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I was like, this is actually not that random.
It's random for most people because not too many people even know about that. And like, why would this just randomly just start? But yeah, back in I think it was elementary, maybe middle school, I'm not sure, but I just used to be in class drawing sneakers and clothes.
And look what the look has done. Amazing.
Yep.
All right. So with that, I really am interested to know, what has it been like stepping out on faith, especially when people around you might think you're crazy or think you're making the wrong decisions. What is that like?
For me, I'm kind of along with the people that think I'm crazy, because sometimes
you think you're crazy.
Yeah, because you start to second guess yourself.
Yeah.
If I can jump ahead a little bit to the story of Abraham, when God told him to go to another country, blah blah blah, all that. But
blah blah for the word of God is crazy.
But he also was like, you're gonna be a father of many nations. And he was 75 years old, and then some time passed on when he was like 80 something, I think 86, and he still hadn't had a child yet. And I think they were at that maybe we're crazy moment, and instead of waiting on the Lord, he chose to go a different route and have a child with his what do you call it? Concubine. Yeah.
Oh, it was probably, she was a maidservant.
Maidservant. Yeah. So I would say I've had moments like that where like this whole process, I haven't always just been focused on my business. It'll be times when I'm focused on my business, and then I'm starting to look at the budget. I'm starting to look at the bank accounts and all that type of stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I should go get a job. And I'll apply for jobs, and nobody calls me back, or I'll try to do stuff to in my own hand. Like early on when I first quit, like those first 6 months, I was door dashing, and then God kind of checked me. He was like, "What are you doing?" It's like you're
Yeah.
supposed to be doing your business, and I stopped door dashing, but it was scary because you just rely on that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, man, now I really got to do this thing for real, and it's just scary. But when so that's just me. But when it relates to other people, like there's several people that have like they just been against me doing this, and it could be a little discouraging. You're just like, man, like nobody's really for my decision.
Yeah.
And you start to think maybe I am doing the wrong thing, and that's another moment. Maybe I should go get a job. Maybe I didn't hear from God. Maybe you know
Heavy on the maybe I didn't hear from God. Oh, that's
Yeah,
the
so
worst.
this whole time, the only person I could say that's really been there has been you. That's really had my like. Of course, other people have had my back and
Yeah.
stuff, but
And support it.
like just the whole way through with like no doubts. Because I've come to you and just been like, should I go get another job? Should I like? Am I putting our family in jeopardy? Am I making the wrong choice? And like through the thick and thin, like you just like no, just keep doing it, just keep doing it, and just kept encouraging me.
Mm. Let me tell you, that is not out of my own strength.
Nah, I know.
Shout out to the Holy Spirit because I mean, listen, I'm going to always continue to say this. Like, y'all know what my problem was. I'm going to say was because I'm believing by faith that the Lord is growing me
Hmm.
and, doing a thing, doing a work in me. But, you know, typically in my flesh, when I don't see it, whew, yeah. So that was completely the Holy Spirit. But yeah, you hit on some really like key points because when when you feel like you're alone and you feel like you don't really have like that confirmation from other people's affirmation of what
Hmm.
you're doing and stuff like that, you're just like, okay, God, I thought I heard you. I thought it was confirmed. I thought, this isn't lining up. It's not making sense. And then you start to backpedal in your head. And then God's like, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean? You were fully convinced. And now you're letting doubt creep in because other people aren't affirming what I've said to you.
Yeah.
And now I do think there is a place for confirmation from people and things like that. But I do think there are some times where God's going to throw you out in the deep end and be like, all right, let's see if you can have faith when you by yourself.
Yeah.
Because, like, are you truly going to just listen to my voice? Is my voice going to be the thing that truly weighs in your life over everything else? Or when people start to come in, because God's not always going to show everybody else what he showed you.
Yeah.
Sometimes he will. A lot of times he might.
Yeah.
But there are some times, and I have personal testimonies myself that there were times where when God was truly trying to grow my faith, when he was truly trying to grow my trust in him, he was like, all right, I'm not going to tell nobody else what I'm doing except for you. And I need you to believe it.
Hmm.
And I need you to stand on it 10 toes down when everybody else says the exact opposite. Like, I need you to stand on it. And so, I mean, I have so many stories like that. So many stories. But, yeah, so I feel your pain. But my next question for you is how do you know that God is leading you to do something? Because this whole time, like you said, you started to question yourself, like, okay, did I hear from God? Like, what was that like even in the first place? How did you know that God was leading you to do this?
It was just like I don't really know how to explain it. Just some type of push. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just on your mind all the time. And one of the reasons I feel like it was God, because I am a really safe person. Like I don't
Naturally, yeah.
yeah, I don't take risk for real. I was at that position for 10 years because, you know, it was a safe job. So I'm not one to just go gamble. I'm not one to just go, just like, if we're about to go buy like a big product, I'm going to make sure, I'm going to look at all the reviews. I'm going to make
Yes,
sure this is what I really want to do. So,
that is you to the T.
yes. So just up and leaving a safe and secure job that I'm getting, you know, that check every 2 weeks, which for the most part, I had been getting checks coming in ever since I was 15. I've always had a
Right.
job. So that's not me to just up and leave something like that. Like, I'm one to make sure all my ducks are in a row. Like, I'm not gonna just, I don't really take leaps of faith like that.
Hmm.
So that was one of the reasons why this has to be God. And I feel like even in the Bible, a lot of times in the Bible, it's when you know it's God, it's something that you don't really want to do, or something that's just
Ooh.
not in your characteristic. Like, you can just go through so many stories in the Bible, do this, do that, and it's
Yeah.
like completely like against everything that they normally do, like their personality and everything. Like, you can talk about Moses, how he, you know, he has this stuttering problem, and you want me to just go and talk to the people?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
so many stories like that.
Yeah.
So
Heavy on the what you don't want to do.
yeah, so that's how I knew like it was God, because I'm like, I'm not one to just take that leap.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, there again, like I could just think about so many things in my life. Um, this podcast included. I mean, to be honest, there's okay. I had no intentions of ever telling people that I used to have a YouTube channel. But hey, here we are now.
Go find it.
So I used to have a YouTube channel, and somewhere along the way, I just, fell off. There were reasons, and, they were valid at the time until they weren't anymore.
Yeah.
And the Lord really, I mean, I can literally look back at my life and just kind of see the different areas where God had been literally setting me up. Like, nah, you may think that you're not getting back to this, but I got another thing coming for you.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I had just, thought to myself, well, like that chapter of my life is closed. Like, I mean, what do I have to say anyways? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And for it to like come full circle and for God to be like, yeah, actually, I need your voice. I need you to speak. I need you to talk. I need you to declare my word, because I'm just like, Lord, it's like 50 million people with a podcast. Like, what is my podcast in the sea of all of these podcasts gonna do? Like, who is it gonna reach? Who is it gonna speak to? And honestly, that's not my business.
Yeah.
Like, really, really heavy on it. That's not my business. That's the whole point of this podcast, right? That is not my business. That is not the part of what God is telling me to do, to worry about. There's been so many times in my life where, because I'm a planner, I already told you that I needed you to come to me with a game plan A through Z, but I'm a planner. So at heart, naturally. And I think that could be a good thing, right? I think it's a God-given gift when used properly, when used for God's glory. Um, but because of that, a lot of times I allow that to get in my own way. And so I'm like, okay, I need to know all the details. I need to know the things, okay? Because I'm not just going to be out here doing stuff just to do it. Like, I need to, don't throw me out there, Lord. Give me the steps, the details. And a lot of times, right, He does not give you the details, because most cases, if He does, you're going to try to manipulate it. You're going to try to step in there somewhere and dirty it up with your fleshly hands.
Yeah.
And so He's like, no, actually, I just need you to trust me. So all that to say, even though I'm worried about the outcome, all the time, I'm always worried about the outcome. Okay, well, Lord, if I do this, then and I'm planning 10 steps ahead. So I'm like, okay, if I do this, this gonna happen. If I do this, this gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And usually I'm relying on my own strength, my own understanding, my own experiences, right? Things that have happened in the past. And God's like, first of all, I'm trying to do a new thing here.
Yeah.
Second of all, Why are you so worried about the outcome instead of just doing the thing I told you to do? Leave the outcome to me. Actually trust me. Because what you don't realize is you so focus on the outcome instead of giving it to me. Number one, you're dragging your feet. So now I'm in disobedience. It's probably harder for me to hear from the Lord. And that's how this podcast can go from God speaking to me to a whole bunch of time until it's dropped.
Yeah.
And God's like, bruh, you are getting in the way of my glory.
Yeah.
And I don't play about my glory. Chill out. Calm down. Stop being so focused on A through Z and just focus on one thing at a time. Just focus on doing the first thing that I told you to do. So I say all that to say you are seen, heard, loved, understood, all of those things.
Thank you.
Because I'm right there with you. Like, and I think a lot of believers are, right? I think a lot of people who, especially, man, especially when you're chosen, because I love talking about this called versus chosen thing, right? Not that like one is greater than the other, but we know that the Bible says many are called, few are chosen.
Yeah.
And of course, it's not because, oh, God's just picking and choosing people. No, God's choosing the people that are actually willing. He's calling people, but not everybody he calls is willing.
Yeah.
And he can only choose people who are willing. And so with that, like, I know there's so many other people who, you know, are willing and have been chosen by God that they experience these same things. But it's like, okay, at some point we gotta put our big girl pants on, right? Put our big boy pants on and just trust God. Stop saying that you trust him and just do it. Just do it and just do the thing. And the funny thing is, you could literally just do the thing and see what happens.
Yeah.
Because God is faithful enough to redirect you if he needs to. He's faithful enough to yank you by the chain if he needs to, right? So It's like, what are we even doing?
Taking that leap, like, and you were talking about how you just have everything planned out. If I do this, it's going to go like that. If I do that, it's going to go like that. But when you just do it, it's going to be completely different.
Yeah.
And if I can be honest with you, I truly thought that my first business, which I'm still doing, I thought I would have been further along. Especially it's almost 2 years in. But just seeing how God's been just aligning everything. I always tell people, people ask me like, how has this like entrepreneurship journey been? And it's really been like truly relying on God, like depending on God, seeing God as like provider. And I know we always say that, we always call him, you know, our provider, but I'll tell everybody this. I wish everybody can just up and quit their job for a season and just start some type of business and just don't rely on that weekly, well, every 2-week check or whatever that's coming in, but fully just rely on God. And even though we don't have as much money as we did, even though it doesn't look like how I thought it did, I just have way more peace than I did. Like when you really just do what God tells you to do and just fully trust in him, even if it doesn't look right on the outside, even if it wasn't what you thought, God really directs your path and he really aligns things together. Just when you like fully rely on him, fully see him as provider, he makes things just happen, things just work out that you wouldn't even like, what? So, I mean, I know you have other stuff real quick. Like before I left DMV, we always wanted our son to be in, you know, daycare.
Yeah, some type of schooling.
Yeah, some type of schooling, but we couldn't afford it. and this is one example. There's so many examples like this since we done left. But fast forward 2 years later, he's in preschool. Yeah. But the thing is, we're making less money than what we were making, you know, before I left DMV.
Hey.
And we're just so focused on planning this and planning that and everything be perfect. But even when it doesn't look perfect, God still works things out. And when you just sit back, you're like, how in the world is he in school right now? How in the world are all these things happening? When I was working 2-3 plus jobs, whatever, like this wasn't happening, but some kind of way,
Right.
when I'm doing less in a sense, more is happening.
Yeah.
And that's all about just surrendering to God and just being obedient to what he is telling you to do. I'm not gonna say everything perfect, everything is just gonna work out, but it's definitely gonna work out according to God's will.
Ooh, listen, that is so good. And I know people are going to be mad at me, but we're going to have to stop right here. Okay, let's put a pin in it. Next episode, I'll have to come back and give us a little recap or start out where you were left off, because this is getting really good. And before we get really, really deep into it, we're just going to have to come back because there's more. I have a feeling there's more. Okay, so that's all we have for now. Evan will be back here next week, so please tune in. You don't want to miss the rest of this conversation. It will not disappoint, okay? I'm going to drop in the description everywhere that you can find Evan and support his web design business and his clothing line business, as well as all the socials. So please check that out. And y'all know I'm never going to hold you too long, okay? Maybe sometimes. I don't know. We're going to see. But that's all we have time for today. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Mind Your Business podcast. Peace.